going on, guys? Here we are back at the woodlot. This is actually the new one, just down the street from where I cut the summer. Another nice pine lot. There's some hardwood to cut as well, but just got started last week. Jeff's on his way here right now to get a load of the second load of pulp. There's a lot of weevil damage pine, old pasture pine in here, and there's some good stuff too. So I've gotten I got started last Monday, and I've gotten this will be the second load of pine pulp, and I've gotten 3 loads of pine logs out of here so far. So it's been a good start. I had to run home today and get the air compressor. The rear tires were getting a little soft on the rear, and I had to put air in them a couple years ago, and I run about 20 and they were down a little below 15, so they were a little bit low. Figured I'd get that done. This woodlot's pretty decent. The ground's a little tricky. There's some steep spots in there, and I had to put a bridge in. I'll run you down there and we'll take a look at that. So here's the temporary bridge I put in. I actually went and bought a couple log mats. I've always wanted a couple. They're handy to have, so I ended up having to get them anyways. This woodlot kind of forced me into it. There's a couple different runoffs that come through here, and they run down to a bog that runs into a major river in the area, so it could be disastrous if I got it all muddy. So took care of that, put some wood on each side to hold the bridge up, and it's running nice and clean. I threw a hay bale there to help if there was any sediment, but I think we're all set. It's nice and clear. Like I said, this place is steep. There's some wicked steep valleys in here, so I've kind of been just cutting there's a couple horseback roads to go up around and go up high and cut all the wood, and it's been working out pretty good. So I'm gonna throw up right now. I tried out the old timberjack, the new old one I guess we should say, and I'll put that up right now. I tried it down back. I cut 1 hitch of firewood with it. You'll see the winch is kind of screwed up, and the winch is actually out of it now in the barn, and that's where we'll go to after I throw this clip up. Well, it's the day we've been waiting for. We're gonna wake this old girl up this morning. It's like 25 degrees out, and take her down back and cut a cord or 2 of firewood with it and see how it does. I got the brakes working on it. That was kind of my last thing I wanted to do before I brought it down there. I can tell you what I did discover on that real quick. Those of you want to know, this is the master cylinder that I ended up getting for it. This is the one that was on it. This is the one that has the 6 1/4-inch bolts. This one's different than the one on my newer one, my other 225, and it's like $200 for this style. So I ended up converting it to this one, and it's only $70, and I can get them anywheres. So it didn't take much doing. The bolt pattern, I don't know if you can see the light in here. They mount down in. You gotta take the whole pedal assembly down out of there, but it didn't take much doing. I just had to take a die grinder and make the big, you can see the big diameter where the plunger comes through, that circle. I only had to grind that out a little bit, and it fits right in there. And then the only thing I did was, the other one's held on there with 3/8 screw bolts. I just went to 5/16, and the bolt pattern worked fine. I didn't have to do anything. And I made a new brake line, and away we go. Saved a bunch of money, and I can get it now in the future. This is the same one that's on my newer timberjack 225. So now they're the same, and I can keep a spare one here, and everything's the same. So anyways, let's see what she does. See if she even cranks. Yep, she's gonna go. I gotta warm it up. I'm gonna back it over here in front of the barn. I got some choker cables I'm gonna put on. I don't think I need to put them all. There's one that's super frayed, and then there's a bunch that aren't even used. Or there's some empties, I should say. And it's kind of a pain. So we'll back it up, throw these chokers on real quick, and then we'll grab our gear and see what happens down in the woods. Maybe she'll fall apart or she'll yard some wood. Alright, I replaced the bad chokers that were on it and added a couple that were missing. So we should be all set. We'll hop in her and head down back. Well, we'll grab a hitch of firewood. We got a lot of ash down here in our own personal wood lot on the farm, and I'm just going to grab a bunch right here and we'll see what she does. I'm gonna get those three hooked up. We'll bring them up here and stop, and we'll cut these bigger ones right here. I like to just get them up here, that way I'm not burying them and trying to crawl through. The winch was working, now it's not. It'll release it and then it'll stop. So just to get this hitch cleaned up, what I'll do is I'll put it in gear, let out a bunch of cable. But I'm gonna have to pull the winch off. I knew I was gonna have to. I was hoping I didn't, but I think we're gonna have to yank the winch and rebuild the clutch assembly. I got some cable out. We'll get these hooked up. We'll still make up a hitch though, see how it pulls, but we'll have to go up and start taking the winch out of it. not going to be able to make a nice hitch because of the winch is acting up, but I'll just get what I can reach right here and get these limbed up. There, well, it ain't much, but it's something to try it out with. No sense to get carried away if the winch ain't working right. Even with the winch not working right, we're still pretty far ahead of the game, I think. She seems to work pretty good. I'm not too worried about the winch. That's no big deal to tear those apart. These things are super simple. I tore mine apart last year and put all new clutches in it. It's nothing. We'll go up and assess the situation, but we'll get this up there and unhooked.